Ancient Egypt, the land of pharaohs, pyramids, and mystery. We picture golden masks and towering monuments, but for most Egyptians, life was about survival, not splendor. Beyond the grandeur, daily existence meant relentless toil and uncertainty. This is the story of the farmers, laborers, and countless anonymous souls who built Egypt's legacy. Let's uncover the true cost of life in ancient Egypt. The Nile was the heartbeat of Egypt, its floods both a blessing and a gamble. Each year, families waited anxiously. Too little water meant famine, too much brought destruction. When the waters receded, the real work began. Dawn to dusk in the fields, plowing, sowing, and tending crops under the relentless sun. Every family member, even children, worked to ensure survival. Irrigation canals had to be maintained, weeds pulled, and crops guarded from pests. Harvest was a frantic race against time, with men cutting grain and women bundling sheaves. The work was exhausting, the air thick with dust, and the pressure unending. After harvest, grain was threshed and winnowed, food for the year, but not all of it stayed with the family. Tax collectors arrived, taking a large share for the state, leaving families with just enough to get by. There were no weekends, no holidays, just an endless cycle of labor dictated by the river and the demands of the pharaoh. Rest was rare, and the threat of hunger or disaster was always near. For most Egyptians, life was a constant struggle to wrest a living from the land. Their endurance and hard work kept the civilization alive, even as their own lives remained harsh and uncertain. The glory of Egypt was built on their backs, year after year. The Nile gave life, but it also demanded everything in return. The state's appetite was insatiable, and the people's reward was survival, not prosperity. The cycle of work and worry defined their existence. For the ordinary Egyptian, every day was a test of endurance. Their story is one of resilience in the face of relentless hardship. The monuments we marvel at today were paid for by their sweat and sacrifice. This was the real Egypt, built not by kings but by the hands of its people. The pyramids and temples of Egypt are wonders of the world, but their creation came at a steep human cost. Pharaohs conscripted tens of thousands of men for massive building projects, pulling them from their villages for months or years. In the quarries and on construction sites, workers faced brutal heat, dangerous tools, and constant risk of injury or death. Hauling multi-ton stone blocks across the desert was back-breaking, perilous work. A single mistake could be fatal, and safety was almost non-existent. Workers lived in crowded barracks, surviving on bread, beer, and onions. Medical care was basic. Injuries and disease were common, and many lives were cut short. These laborers were not slaves, but their lives were controlled by the state, enforced by harsh overseers. Their individual sacrifices were lost in the collective effort, their names forgotten. For every grand monument there is an untold story of suffering and endurance. The glory of the pharaohs was built on the backs of ordinary men. Their strength and sacrifice made Egypt's wonders possible. The stones they hauled are silent witnesses to their toil. These workers were the true architects of Egypt's greatness. Their legacy is not in hieroglyphs, but in the very monuments they built. The cost of glory was paid in human lives and endless labor. Behind every temple and pyramid lies a hidden monument to human endurance. The splendor we see today was forged in hardship and pain. Egypt's wonders are a testament to the resilience of its people. Their story deserves to be remembered. Life in ancient Egypt was fraught with danger, injury, and illness were constant threats. While Egyptian doctors had some medical knowledge, most treatments mixed practical remedies with magic and superstition. A broken bone or serious illness could mean death. Infection was a constant risk. The Nile's waters bred parasites and disease, and close contact with animals spread illnesses like tuberculosis. Childbirth was perilous, and many children never reached adulthood. Most families lost loved ones early. Life expectancy for commoners was barely 35 years. Hard labor, poor nutrition, and disease wore people down quickly. Death was ever present, shaping how Egyptians viewed the world. Funerary preparations were a practical necessity, not just a religious ritual. The desire for a proper burial was urgent. Everyone hoped for a safe journey to the afterlife. Even a minor injury could be fatal, and plagues could devastate entire villages. Surviving each day was an achievement in itself. The Egyptians' daily struggle was not just for food, but for life itself. Their resilience in the face of constant hardship is remarkable. Behind the grandeur, life was fragile and uncertain. The true story of Egypt is one of survival against the odds. Their endurance is as much a legacy as any monument. Religion shaped every moment of Egyptian life, offering meaning but also constant anxiety. The gods were powerful and unpredictable, Pleasing them required endless rituals and offerings. Every household had shrines and amulets for protection, but the major temples were off-limits to ordinary people. The priesthood and pharaoh mediated the people's connection to the gods, reinforcing the power of the state. Religious festivals offered rare glimpses of the divine, but for most, the gods remained distant and fearsome. The afterlife was both a hope and a source of dread. Gaining entry to paradise meant navigating a perilous underworld, armed with spells and prayers. The weighing of the heart determined one's fate, eternal life or oblivion. This belief created immense psychological pressure. Every action was judged, every mistake feared. Religion provided comfort, but also reinforced conformity and obedience. The fear of divine punishment shaped daily behavior and social order. For ordinary Egyptians, faith was a double-edged sword, offering hope, but also burdening them with fear. The weight of the afterlife was a constant presence. Their lives were defined by the need to appease gods and secure a place beyond death. Religion was both a guide and a source of anxiety in a harsh world. The struggle for survival extended into the spiritual realm. The burden of faith was as real as any physical hardship. The monuments of Egypt tell a story of power, but the real legacy is the resilience of its people. Behind every statue and stone lies a tale of hard labor and human endurance. Their lives were short and difficult, but their collective effort built a civilization that endures. Remembering them gives us a fuller, more human picture of Egypt's greatness. We see not just the pharaohs but the ordinary people who made it all possible. Their story is a reminder that history is written in daily struggles and quiet triumphs. The true legacy of Egypt is the strength of its people.